Now I will be teaching you literature in English. But before we go further, we are starting with the introduction to literature, which means literary appreciation. Are you following? The literary appreciation is an introduction to literature, which covers all aspects of literature. It covers all aspects of literature. So this literary appreciation simply means the general knowledge of literature. Are we together? Good. So let me read. And I would like you to follow me the way I'm reading it so that you will be getting the rudiments, the ingredients which make literature to be appreciated. And that is what this literary appreciation is talking about, the general knowledge of literature, the overview of literature. So I read, literature is the mirror of life. Literature as the mirror of life. It means creative or imaginative work of art. Work of art produced by a poet, novelist, or drama. The essence of literature is to force you and I to think constructively and be creative in literature. In literature, we develop a profound sense of life. We develop a profound sense of life. We develop a profound sense of life. That makes us to know that this kind of life we are living. I'm explaining now. That this kind of life we are living. Are you following? Now this kind of life we are living. Going to the markets, going to the school, going to your offices, those people that perform in sports, religion activities, economic, chemistry, which can be put in written work, are good examples of literature. And the other part of literature, we talk about the creative and imaginative art of it, which can be put to work in terms of poem, prose, and drama. Are you following? In literature, your mind becomes perceptive. You become knowledgeable, polished, and one that sees the world with a deeper eye. That is the point. That is, as a literature student, you are well versed in experience. You have knowledge in any field. As a literature student, without having any certificate, you are already a professor yourself. Because whenever they are talking in sports, you have a clue what they are saying. Whenever they are talking about science, you have a clue what they are saying. In politics, you have a clue. In economics, in commerce, everything. And who is the professor? The professor is the one that have a little knowledge about everything. So you'll be knowledgeable, you'll be have vast knowledge in all, you'll be versatile. What they mean to have different skills in what matters. So I read further without wasting more of our time. Literature is a mirror of life through which the society take a critical look at itself. Hope I'm communicating to you. Yeah. Literature is as old as history. Poetry is the oldest form of all genres of literature. It's also as old as history. What am I saying in essence? What we actually mean here is that literature, as it is, has been taking place for a very long time. Literature, as it is, has been taking place before my forefathers were born, before my ancestors came to pass. Literature has been taking place before my forefathers were born. And that is continue to evolve. And literature has become an history. If you listen to some poem, you know that the authors of that poem are the poets. The person that wrote that poet has died a very long time ago. And that poem is still living. That poem is still passing a message to the upcoming generation. It's to educate people that are still living. That's why they say literature is as old as history. And this has been taking place for a very long time. Hope I'm communicating. Good. Talking about genres of literature is not the thing that limits to anything. Just literature is very wide. It covers all areas of literature. And when we say literature is the mirror of life, it means what we actually mean in essence that literature is a king in himself. You can refer it as the king of all subjects because it carry everything along. That was why when some poets or some playwrights or some novelists, they are talking or they are making they wrote a poem or they wrote a play or a drama, something that's similar to that, just play and make them to talk about the sciences, may make them to talk about the supreme being of God, may make them to talk about the things of nature, may make them to talk about morning movement, which is energy, may make them talk about all everything. It entails everything. It is one in all. And that is the major thing why I'm in love with literature. I appreciate literature a lot, and that's why a lot of people are still appreciating literature, because literature is still speaking today, and literature can never die. It's a work of art that can never die. It lives on for a very long time. So without wasting much of our time, I would like to go to the gems of literature. Gems of literature, which are, we have three things that hold literature together, that make literature to be what it is today, that make people to still be appreciating literature for what it is and what it's going to be. So we have three gems of literature, which are prose, poetry, and drama. Each of these has its own distinctive features that make it different from others, particularly poetry. Yes, that was why any student that does not have a vast knowledge, a sound knowledge, conversant knowledge concerning any poem or concerning the poem itself, poetry, that person is not a good literature student. It's not a good literature student, because it is with poetry that you begin to build yourself. You begin to be creative and imaginative in all spheres of life. Because poem like this it may not be more than 2 lines or more than 4 lines or more than 14 lines, which is a sonnet, but what is speaking to you cover a lot of things. Are you getting me? So for all to progress, I would like to share some light of what poetry is to us. Are you getting it? So I will define poetry for you, that poetry deals with the feeling of greater complexity and intensity. That is the feeling of greater emotion with what is happening in the poet's society. I see, before you put a poem to work, you have a strong emotion. You have a feeling about what is happening in your community, in your surroundings, that you do not like it, that you are now sensing yourself that this is supposed to be like this, and you want to educate the community people, and you want to educate the society. You now say, which way can you educate them that they will not be annoyed, that peace can reign in the society? You now put it into an artwork in form of poetry, which will be made available for everybody to read. Everything, and will be shaped. Poetry is always shaped in rhyme, meter, standards, form, and verse for sustenance and emphasis, for easy understanding and assimilation. Am I communicating? Good. So William Wordsworth, a poet, see poetry as imaginative, of strong feeling, usually rhythmical, the spontaneous overflow of a powerful feeling recollected in tranquility. Tranquility in the sense means peace, mean harmony. That is, when you now package your words, when you now package what you have felt, your feeling, your strong emotion about the society, of what is happening there in the midst of people, or the way people do things, you now put in an artwork to educate them, to pass information to them, so that peace can reign, so that they can learn from it and learn how to live life better. So, the genre of literature, you must know it as a good literature student, that we have only 3 genres of literature, which is drama, poetry, and each one of them is distinctive in its own way. So, without wasting more of our time about the literary appreciation that we are talking about, we also move to the figure of speech. The figure of speech is under literary appreciation itself. We also have sound device, which is under literary appreciation itself. All these appreciate literature. The kind of drama, the type of poetry, all these appreciate literature. They are the ingredients, they are the ingredients that make literature what it is today, and that make people to be interested and appreciate literature. Hope you are following, students. Good. I read further. In literature, we have so many figures of speech, but due to time constraint, I will lecture this class on the most popular one and the most commonly used in WAEC, that will ensure you all success in your forthcoming examination. Are you following? The most popular figure of speech and well understood, which is simple to understand, is simile, which is the number 1 figure of speech that I have here on the screen. And how do we define it? We say simile in a simple sense is an indirect comparison using the word like or as. E.g., Samson is like a giant in the field of play. You have a lot of examples of simile that we can use, but because of time constraint and space, I would just like to limit it to this number 1 alone. This example, that Samson is like a giant in the field. Any statement or any sentence that makes use of like or as is a good example of simile. So the next one, which is metaphor. Metaphor. This is a direct comparison without using the word like or as. If you listen together or if you read this thing, you will know that metaphor and simile are a bit closer, but it's worth two things that make them to be different. The word like or as. Metaphor itself is a direct comparison without using the word like or as, while simile is an indirect comparison by using the word like or as. Example of metaphor is my teacher is writing complexion. Another example, you can say my teacher is as black as charcoal, or my teacher is. Another example of metaphor is my teacher is a giant. Without using the word of as or like, you say it directly. Are you getting it? So the next one is personification. Personification. What do we mean by personification? Would mean that this is giving human attributes or quality to an inanimate object or non-living thing, as though it is living. That is qualifying non-living thing. Or something that is not human in nature, that's not human being, you are qualifying as it is a human being. Are you following? Good. E.g., the example for personification is a pen is dancing furiously on the paper. And I want you to know that in the meaning of literature, the meaning of the example or the meaning of the literal meaning of all the figures of speech, they are not perfect, they are not difficult to understand, and they cannot be questioned. If you say a pen, while a pen is dancing furiously on the table, it means a pen is writing. The pen is not a living thing. Are you getting it? That's why we qualify it as literature. If you say a statement like a pregnant cloud, it's also an example of personification. If you say the wind whistle, it's also an example of personification. If you say the tree is dancing, it's also an example of personification. So without wasting much of our time, I would like to move to the next figure of speech, which is oxymoron. Oxymoron. Oxymoron simply means in the actual sense that this is placing side by side together two words that contradict each other. That is, two words that against each other. Hope you are listening. Good. E.g., the orange is bittersweet. When you say the orange is bittersweet, the actual sense that you mean in the literature term is that the extent of how sweet the orange was, that the orange is so sweet. So let's move to the next number, which is irony, number 5. Irony simply means saying the opposite of what it actually meant or have in mind. Are you getting this? To catch attention. Example of irony. Say the best way to avoid death is by jumping into fire. Can you see that? That's saying the opposite of what you actually mean or have in mind. If you are not telling me that if I want to avoid death, if I don't want to die, that's a jump to fire. What do you think fire can do me any good? That is the straight and next best way to die, by jumping in the fire, by staying there. So let's move to the number without wasting my time. The next number is paradox. Hope I'm communicating, class. It's paradox. What do you mean by paradox? This is a statement that seems or actually does contradict itself. But when examined closely, it has some hidden truth and wisdom. As paradox itself is a word of wisdom. Example of it is a prepare for war if you want peace, and that is how it is. Hope you are following with me. Good. Say prepare for war if you want peace, and that is as simple as it is. Because before peace can reign, there must be war. Because if war is coming to your place and you want peace to reign, you have to face it. So that after the war comes peace. And after the rain, sun will shine. There will be peace. That is it. Another example of paradox, you may say the son is the father of his father. Which simply means that someday that son is going to be a father. He's going to be a father of his father that will be providing for his father. Hope you are flowing with me. The next figure of speech here which catch attention now is hyperbole. Hyperbole. This is a deliberate exaggeration made for emphasis. It's a time called overstatement or exaggeration. E.g., I labor myself to death. Hope I'm communicating. Say, I labor myself to death. If you labor yourself to death, will you be the one saying that you have death? If you are dead, you won't be able to speak again. And now I say, I will never live my life. Another example. Say, I will never live my life in the next 1,000 years. That is, in the next 1,000 years, I will never live my wife. No, you can see that's not possible. It's not possible. Because you and your wife cannot live 1,000 years, cannot live 1,000 years. So why would you be saying that you will not live your wife for 1,000 years? You have left your wife will not even live up to 200 years. So why you now be comparing the staying with your wife with 1,000 years? That's not possible. That's an exaggeration. That's an overstatement. You're just saying the extent of how you love your wife, that you like to stay with her for a very long time. So let's move to the next number, which is number 8. Allegory. Allegory, it is the figure of figurative work which surfaces its meaning in symbolic or metaphoric form. I can see this method is well understandable. You don't need to disturb our brain or rock our brain with it. The allegory is a figurative work which surfaces its meaning in symbolic or metaphoric form to enhance understanding. E.g., Animal Farm by George Orwell. If you read the poem, you have an understanding of what I'm saying. The next one is repetition. Repetition is a figure of speech in which a word or phrase is expressed more than once in a poetry, drama, or prose as a result of surprise or out of curiosity. E.g., you and a person will be talking, you say, no. Yeah? No. You repeat that no. You can see that no is repeating 4 times. Out of surprise or out of curiosity, you don't want to accept that. And if you read some poem, you will see that there are a lot of repetition that always be the same. One of the poems that I see a lot of repetition there is Vanity. And there was a lot of repetition there, from the first line to the last line. So let's move to the next line without wasting our time. It's a Sindoch. Sindoch is a figure of speech which refers to the substitute of a part to stand for a whole. I'm communicating to stand for a whole. E.g., 6 hands at the door. This simply means 6 people at the door. The next one, metonymy. It refers to the substitute of a word or phrase to stand for a word or phrase in similar meaning. E.g., I am here to read one of Shakespeare. This means Shakespeare here represents one of his play. That's metonymy. You can see the difference between metonymy and Sindoch. Metonymy is referred to the substitute of a word or phrase to stand for a whole, for a word or a phrase in similar meaning. Whereby a part, as regards Sindoch, is a part used to stand for a whole. Hope I'm communicating. Good. And the next one is parable. It refers to a work of art which lays emphasis on moral living. It's a work of art which lays emphasis on moral living. To live moral, to be pure. And we also have another figure of speech which is biblical allusion. And this we normally find across in terms of that when the poets or a playwright take us into the supreme things of God, that we have biblical allusion. So we have a lot of figures of speech which I cannot mention, finish, but I say due to the result that this is the someone that normally come out in our examination. That is the major thing why I pinpoint them out for you to enhance our understanding about the subject matter of literature. So literature is there to correct us in anything we do. Literature as it is. Literature is meant to correct us. It's meant to correct us. It's meant for correction, to correct all human beings on how to live right and to do things right. How do I know this? That is why in any poem, at the end of it, the poem will now suggest that this is a clarion call for action. It is better for you to change your way. It's better for you to do things right, to do things the way this is also things supposed to do. So literature call for correction. It's called for a moral living. It's called for the best way to do things, the right way to do things. It's called for peace. Literature is a call for peace. It's a call for us to live in peace and harmony. Literature is the thing that brought us together. Literature is the thing that unites us, no matter the tribe we are from. And that is the major thing why people are still appreciating literature. People appreciate literature because it's a work of art that emphasizes on moral living. It educates us, it sends message to us, it makes us to know that this life is just a journey. This life is just a journey. And all this thing I'm saying to you, there are some poems that make a justification to it. But for the sake of time, I would not like to go deep. But since I'm here, I'm enclosed with all the syllabus that is recommended for your upon examination. If I'm teaching each poem, each play, each drama to you, you will be able to get the clue of what literature entails and what it's meant to do. Literature is solving problems, literature is solving solutions of people, literature is educating people, literature is enlightening people, literature is making people to be more exposed to the world around them and to know what is going on in their environments. That's why some point we talk about politics, some point we talk about the supremacy of God, some point we talk about immoral living. Now to send a message to those people who are living that way, for them to change, that is correcting them, and to come to the limelight, to come to the right way, to come to the right track, and to be doing things the way it's supposed to be done. And we also have rhetorical question, which can be referred to a figure of speech as well. Rhetorical question. This is the kind of a question that does not demand an answer. You just say it for emphasis sake. You may say, am I alive? Am I alive? Or someone may just come back from market now, asking the question, are you back? That person may not answer you because it is a question that does not demand an answer. Hope I'm communicating. Good. Thank you for following me. We also have euphemism in literature. One of the figures of speech of literature. I told you there are many, but for the sake of time, I will just list the ones that are commonly used. We have euphemism. This is using an unpleasant situation or an unpleasant things as if they are pleasant, as if they are pleasant. Hope you are following. A good example of this is I am going to comfort station. If I say I am going to comfort station, it means I am going to toilet. Or I say I'm going to White House, it also means I am going to toilet. I don't want you to call it in an unpleasant way that will make people to think, why is this guy saying this? So that's why people appreciate literature. Just make it to be relating with other in a more exciting way, in a more humorous way. That's why literature is full of comedy. It's exciting. Literature itself is not even the meaning of life. It is life because it shows us how to live right, how to live in a more attractive, in a more distinctive and excellent way. So I enclose here in summary, as regards the literal appreciation of literature, that literature, the essence of literature in our society, in our community, in our nation, the world at large, cannot be overemphasized. Literature cannot be limited for anything, because the impact is still speaking today, and the impact of literature is positive in the life of all, both the young, the old, and the society at large. Literature is very good. Literature is exciting. Literature is lovely. Literature, it embraces everything. Literature embraces human being. It embraces the things of nature, even though it embraces those that are dead, which are our ancestors, our forefathers. It still embraces them. It is speaking about them. So you and I don't have any option that appreciate literature. Doesn't matter if you are not an art student. Doesn't matter if you are a science student. Doesn't matter if you are a commercial student. Anything you are doing, or anything you are about to do, or anything you are yet to do, talks about literature. For the fact that they can be put into white and black, that is in written form. For the fact that they can be imagined. For the fact that they can be created. Talks about literature. It's an artwork which will continue to live for a very long time. Hope you enjoyed the class. Thank you very much for listening. I appreciate your audience. I'm sure that this little information that I've dished out to you all as regards the subject matter literature will help you to perform better and come out with flying color as regards general appreciation of literature. And as we progress, I believe your scope of reasoning and understanding to be creative will be expand. Will be expand. You will reason like a man. You will reason like a woman being. You will reason as a person that have a future. You will reason like a man on a mission who know where he is going, who know the reason why he's still alive, who is on a mission to fulfill a purpose. Because literature itself, as a subject in the secondary school setting, is still speaking today. I would like to enclose here that literature as a subject is recognized in the primary school, it's recognized in the secondary school, it's recognized in the tertiary institution all over the world. All over the world. That is the major reason why you have storybook that educate you, storybook that inspire you, storybook that motivate you. Thank you for listening.